Oh, good afternoon. This is Houndog Steve wishing you a very pleasant afternoon, and I can hardly keep the chuckle out of my voice. Okay, so this is breaking news. As of yesterday evening, around about 6:15, the Liberal Party of Canada unofficially collapsed and is presently in complete disarray. Now, you might say, Steve, that's a pretty bold statement, but I've got something to back this up. So first of all, here is an MP, a Liberal MP. His name is Joel Lightbound. What a wonderful Aquarian name. But he basically made a presentation on CTV News, which is City TV, which is a mainstream media outlet. And basically he went against everything that the Trudeau government has put in place for the last 700 days. He accused Trudeau of being divisive, using wedge tactics against the public's interests, that other countries are changing their course on COVID, and he just slammed his leader. And he said in his speech, now I will link in the description, it's about 6 or 7 minutes long, so I don't want to make this video too lengthy, so you can watch it for yourself, but he says that he's not alone. And I will guarantee you, knowing the inner workings of Parliament, that he has a significant minority. Might not be 50%, but it will be somewhere between 40 and 50% of the MPs are in broad agreement, and he's just the spokesperson. So Trudeau is now in desperate trouble. He's missing in action. He's abdicated the throne. But I fully suspect that within 2 weeks you'll hear the Governor General will dissolve government and we will have new general elections. And that will be that. Now, if we can get proportional representation, that would be great. But the Liberal government has collapsed. Also, there are other MLAs. Alberta, here's a guy, Greg Hunter. I had to record it with a video camera because the YouTube downloader doesn't work on Rumble. But anyways, it's a short clip. But he says that this is a growing public movement.
For those in our audience who might not know, who are you? Could you introduce yourself?
I'm Greg Hunter. I'm the MLA for the area, Tabor-Warner.
All right, and just some quick questions here. Jason Kenney said that there were no negotiations between MLAs and the truckers. Is that true?
That's absolutely true. Okay, yeah, no, I'm just the MLA here. I came to make sure that everybody's healthy and strong and that they're keeping the law. That's what I'm here for.
As well, and so I guess that kind of answered my second question, but what is the message you want to send by being here?
Well, I just want to make sure that this is a peaceful protest. I mean, they have inspired nations, the world really, by what's going on here, what's happening in Ottawa. So, you know, this isn't about politicians. In fact, politicians right now are really incidental. This is a movement of the people, and as it continues to grow, politicians are going to have to get on board. The truth, that's the reality. So, the message is, thank you very much for inspiring people to fight for their freedoms and liberties. I think that that's absolutely critical and important for our children, my children and my grandchildren.
And at some point, every politician is going to have to get on board. So there you go. Doug Ford. What are you waiting for? Come on, man, you don't want to be late, because I'll tell you what's going to come next is retribution. Oh my God. When people realize that the health department knew that masks are not good for people to wear, not good for their health, that there was significant safety information that was being withheld from the public about the inoculations, so they couldn't make an informed choice. And many of these inoculations, I understand, didn't even have that little wrapper inside that gives you all the ingredients and so on and so forth, and the possible side effects. The side effects are now showing up to be far worse than the disease that they were supposed to be curing. You're not even immune. And now they're talking about what do they call it? Vaccine AIDS, okay, which is basically autoimmune deficiency, where the inoculations are so depleting your immune system that you are vulnerable to any bug going around. And I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that for people who've taken the injection, because I know there were different injections given out. I don't know all the details. However, there could be significant long-term blowback from taking the inoculation that you didn't know about. Parents of children, there was one heartbreaking story that I saw on a live stream from Ottawa of a 9-year-old boy. He had taken the inoculation because he wanted to play hockey, and within 2 weeks he had a heart attack. How do you think those parents feel? How do you think people who lost their businesses, had to declare bankruptcy, people who had children who overdosed during this period, the health department knows that loneliness and incarceration and solitude is a precursor to self-harm and depression. I mean, these are the people who are supposed to be watching out for your mental health. How will you ever trust them again? How will you ever be able to take the advice of anybody that bought this hook, line and sinker? When they say, "Oh, Steve, you know, wait a minute. If you didn't get what was going on in 700 days, you're in no position to advise me, my friend." And that's what you're going to see happening. There is going to be a big bump in the road now, and like I say, my words, this is not official yet, but I think by the end of the week, or at the latest the middle of February, there will be an announcement that government will be dissolved and the Liberal Party can no longer sustain the government. So there you go, that's my 2 cents worth. There will be fallout. Now, I will say this, that the truckers' protest, okay, the shortages that you're going to see, right, coming up, are not caused by the truckers. Those shortages were already baked in the pie before the convoy, Freedom Convoy started. Okay, now there will be, this will exacerbate, and whoever thought of shutting down the Ambassador Bridge was a stroke of genius. These border passings, the Ambassador Bridge is the #1 trade conduit between the US, between Detroit and Windsor, US and Ontario. And to block that, there's 100 trucks there right now, and there's more trucks heading to Sarnia, where there is another, not major, but large border crossing for commercial traffic. So this is a very well organized operation. Oh, and the other thing that happened, this is unbelievable, this is so funny. This shows real planning, real organization, and I was reading a piece by Salties, the police chief in Ottawa, and he's scared. He said this shows operational precision. So when the police took the fuel, the jerry cans with the fuel in them, what happened was the following day, or the following few days, all of a sudden people started pushing around or carrying empty jerry cans or jerry cans full of water alone, just to exacerbate the police. There was hundreds of them. The police couldn't keep up. Anyway, since then the police have returned the fuel to the truckers. So, and there's been a significant number of police handing their resignation in the Ottawa police force. I'm hearing 30%, which is why they've called for a backup. They want another 1,800 police to try and end this protest. But I think you're going to find, and I had a premonition, that's anecdotal, but I had a premonition that yes, the army or the RCMP might show up, but you know what? They would take off their protective gear and they would cross the line and join the protesters. Because this is what, we're going into unity. This is what's happening, folks. We're going into unity. And there will be no more double standards. There will be no more two sides. No. We the people have said no. The end. And we're doing it in love and unity. So, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe below. And in the meantime, this is Houndog Steve signing off, wishing you a very pleasant afternoon, and be thankful. Be thankful. Fall on your knees and thank God for this miracle that has just happened. In the meantime, this is Houndog Steve signing off, wishing you a very pleasant afternoon, and we'll talk very, very shortly. You take care now. See ya. Bye.